Welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled, Daughter Takes Mom on Her Honeymoon. Months later, the mom is pregnant with a son-in-law's baby. And big shout out to Sanjeev for sending this article over. And guys, this is yet another story, another article that shows the old saying about truth being stranger than fiction. Well, this is real because this came from a news source, not bullshit. It's not some Reddit thing that you may have to question whether it's real or not. No joke. And this story comes from over in the UK. You know, a lot of these stories, guys, like over the crazy ones, come from the UK. And I have to wonder what's going on over there. What are you guys up to? Why is it so crazy? Is it the fish and chips? I don't get it. What makes a lot of your people act crazy like they do? I don't know. But anyhow, guys, yeah, we got a mother-in-law who's hooking up with a son-in-law, right? I mean, you want to talk about low. I mean, this poor girl, she finds this out, and I mean, what the hell? But anyhow, as I've told you guys before about women and attention and validation, and obviously you're going to see here, she's 19. When this happened, she was 19, 20 years old, and the mother was 53. So obviously her mother's been a long time on the decline. What do I told you about attention and validation, okay? Women need it. They crave it. It's like a plant that needs sunlight and rain. They can't function without it. And when they start obviously knowing they're on the decline, they want it more. Does this mean that women are all going to go hook up with their son-in-laws? No, because this sounds like a adult video. But these type of things do happen sometimes. I did an article about 2 months ago about a guy. He found out that his dad was hooking up with his wife. And they got together and had kids. I mean, it's insane. He's having nothing to do with the dad, as well as many people in the family. But now we got the opposite situation. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to get into this crazy story and go from there. It starts off, a woman from the UK was in for a shock when she discovered her mother was pregnant with her husband's baby. The lady reveals how it left her shattered, only to begin a new life all over again. Lauren Wall, 34 years old, from London, married Paul White when she was 19 in 2004. And in her recent interview to local publications, she said she will never forgive her mother for what she did. Her mum, Julie, now 53 years old, paid £15,000 for her wedding, and Lauren took her along on her 2-week honeymoon as a gesture of thanking her in a way. She took the mother-in-law, she took her mom to the honeymoon. That's weird. I've heard of some situations where sometimes like maybe the whole family ends up going on a big trip or something like that on occasion, but just the couple and bringing the mother-in-law along, that's weird. Did the guy think that, okay, since the mother-in-law is coming, I get a free pass to nail both of them? Is that what was going through his head? I don't know. It says Paul and Lauren met at a local pub where they hit it off right away. After their daughter arrived in March 2004, Paul asked her to marry him. So Paul and Lauren had a kid. Okay, we gotta keep track of all these names here. Paul and Lauren, they're the couple, and they had a kid. After the daughter arrived in March 2004, Paul asked her to marry him. Lauren was thrilled with how their relationship was going, and she was excited with the future that they would have together. That she expressed, I must have been young and naive, as I thought everything was going well. He told me that he wanted to be with me forever. Guys say things, women say things, everybody says things, but this whole happily ever after thing is a bunch of horse shit. Okay, that's Hallmark movies, that's Disney movies, all that. I mean, don't get me wrong here. There are definitely married couples that have a great thing going. And if you're watching this and you're in a good marriage or a relationship and you're happy, awesome. I'm really happy for you. Seriously, I'm sincerely happy. However, there are a lot of really screwed up situations out there, and people go when they're younger, they have all these hopes, and that's nice, they do, but after you live a while and see how things really go, it's not exactly having two people live together forever. I mean, it just doesn't work, okay, for the most part. Anyhow, however, to Lauren's shock, 8 weeks after their honeymoon, Paul moved out of their house. And 9 months later, Julie, her mother, the mother-in-law, gave birth to his child and announced that they were a couple. Lauren said that Paul had always gone on well with her mom. He got on a lot more well than she realized. It's like that song, Stacy's Mom. Stacy's Mom's got it going on. Dead on. And she had no reason to ever think of anything more than a mother-in-law and son-in-law relationship, she said. Right, because she's young and she actually would never think that's her mom. So she would think her mother would never do such a thing, okay? And one has to ask, who's worse in this situation? Who's the bigger villain here? the husband, the dude that she married, or her mother? Well, 100,000% it's the mother, okay? Because this is her daughter, for God's sakes. You know, what a bitch. She says, Lauren is quoted as saying, "I never thought it strange, though, as she was his mom-in-law, and he was just being friendly. They laugh a lot together. I didn't think to be worried at all. Who would?" Right. Most people would not think that they had to have any concern, you know, that a family member, let alone her own mother, who gave birth to her, was going to take her guy. And not to mention, get pregnant by her guy. Right? I mean, this is right out of a daytime talk show. You guys know some of the ones I'm talking about here. However, all fell apart after Lauren's sister, who was using Julie's phone one day, found texts between her and Paul. People's phones, you can find all the secrets in the world about somebody on their phone. This is why people guard their phones with their lives, okay? You can pretty much find anything you want on somebody's phone. It's amazing. Julie, the mom-in-law, Julie denied everything, and Paul refused to let Lauren look at his phone. It was only days later that Paul removed his wedding ring and walked out on Lauren and their 7-month-old daughter. Man, what an asshole. So Lauren and Paul, they have the one kid together. They got married. Then he's hooking up with his mother-in-law, and she's pregnant with the kid. Now he leaves, and he leaves her with the other daughter. Unbelievable. Well, you know what? Karma's a bitch. And karma, one way or another, will come back and bite these two assholes in the ass. Lauren said that she was astounded and felt betrayed when she found out that he had moved out with her mom. In a state of shock, the daughter said, "It was sick. It was the worst things a mom can do to a daughter. She stole my husband, shattered my family and my dreams. For that, I'll never truly forgive her." I wouldn't. I'd have nothing to do with her. End of story. And I would make sure everybody in the family, well, not that the family's not going to know about this, but I'd make sure everybody knew about that. Oh, hell no. This is her mom, okay? You got to be kidding me here. After the honeymoon, when Paul had moved out and Lauren heard rumors he was living with her mom, she saw her walking down the street apparently pregnant. Lauren said Julie even denied the fact that she was pregnant and blamed the bump on a cyst. It was at this time that Lauren got a divorce and began rebuilding her life, Lauren said. That's all she could do. You know, she's got to move on. I have nothing to do with that mom, and I hope that this is a rare situation where I'm actually siding with the gal, hoping that she makes out all right because she's got that daughter and that guy took off on her. She said, when I saw her in the street and noticed that she had a bump, my mind raced. She clutched her stomach and told me, "It's a cyst." I felt so sick. I went home and destroyed all photos of our wedding. You might as well. Wedding's over. The marriage is over. No sense having a reminder of it. After Julie had the baby, Lauren sent one last text to her which read, "Remove the cyst then?" ? Julie and Paul were married 5 years later, and Lauren even attended the wedding for the sake of her daughter. Bullshit. When she says her daughter, she means the granddaughter, of her mother. Hell no. I want to go to that wedding. You out of your damn mind? I'd have nothing to do with her at all. In fact, Julie, the mom-in-law, herself called her daughter to invite her for the marriage. Lauren said, "She rang me up and invited me. It was awkward. I got married on August 14, 2004. They married on August 15, 2009. It was almost too much to bear, but I did it for my daughter." Who cares about your daughter? Your daughter's a little kid. She doesn't need to know this stuff. I mean, she's obviously raising the daughter by herself, and it's obviously no doubt a stressful, tough situation, but she doesn't need to take the daughter to the wedding of her. Grandma's getting married to dad. Okay, the daughter doesn't need that shit. Okay, but she's full of emotions. Most people, and particularly women, are driven by emotions, so there's no logic here. Continues or finishes up saying, Lauren has infrequent contact with her mom, who is still married to Paul. She says her path to happiness hasn't been easy, but she managed to move on and find a new partner. Well, I wish her all the best, and I would not have anything to do with that mom or the family the mom after that, okay? And I mean, just can you imagine going to the wedding there and all the people whispering and talking, especially when she walked in and like holy crap, that's her husband marrying her mom, right? And she's pregnant. This is crazy. But guys, like I told you before in the beginning, truly, truth is stranger than fiction. And this is why when I do certain stories, and some people are automatically like, oh, that's bullshit, SSM, you should know better. Look, there's so many screwed up people in this world that you just, these things happen. It's unbelievable. And I share these stories for lots of reasons. I'm not going to deny it's not for the entertainment factor, because a lot of you guys I know watch this purely for entertainment reasons. But also, it goes to show you there are a lot of wackos out there, and you've got to be careful. You got to take care of yourself. You always have to have one eye open. You always have to look for the red flags. Trust your gut with people. And whenever you're going to get in a relationship with anybody, you got to take your time, because you just never quite know, because a lot of people can really put on an act, and you think that they're great and could never do horrible things, and then boom, your guy's hooking up with your mom, or your girl is hooking up with your dad, or something ridiculous like that. And I've done these stories, not like stories, but actually articles covering these stories. So guys, as I tell you, always trust your guts in situation. Always pay attention to the red flags. It's unfortunate that you have to always keep your eyes peeled. It'd be nice to actually meet somebody you can have a great time with and you're attracted to, and not have to worry about any bullshit going on. But these things happen. I'm not saying something like this happens every day, but they do happen. So you just really have to be careful. I don't want you guys getting hurt or burned or screwed or anything like that. So this is why I share these stories here. So, but anyhow, that is it for today. Quick story for a Saturday. Hope you guys enjoy it. That is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if any of you guys have had known anybody or had any crazy situations remotely resembling something to this in your life, or somebody you knew. Share it in the comments section. Spread the word. We need to let guys know, so they're obviously aware to pay attention to these type of things, if God forbid something like this could ever happen. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.